This conference will now be recorded.
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुणवे नमः। मुखं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरि यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम्। While we all have been reciting these two prayers for today's pastime, these two prayers have key significance. Om Ajnana Timirandasya is about what a spiritual master is, what is his qualification, what does he do, which is very much related to the today's pastime. And when we say Yat Krapatam Ham Mande, so with Krapa of Paramananda, of Krishna, a dumb person can talk, a lame person can cross over the mountain. But what happens if Yat special Krapatam Ham Mande? So that is what we will be discussing in today's session. So we just go through this book of surrender. Let me just scroll the first page. So before we start, let us set up the scenario over here. So what had happened so far in this pastime? So we had Samudra Manthan, where the milk ocean was being churned by the Devatas and the demons, and out of many things and personalities that emerged from this ocean, from the churning of milk ocean, one of the important item was nectar. So demons, by cheating the Devatas, they took the nectar away, ran away, and then Vishnu took the form of Mohini, and then he deceived the demons and distributed the nectar to Devatas. This obviously resulted in making the demons angry, and there was a war between the Devatas and the demons. By the mercy of the Lord, Devatas won this war, and most of the demons died, and Bali Maharaj almost died. But by Shukracharya, Bali Maharaj was revived again, and many other demons were revived. So he spelled some specific mantras and revived them again by his power. And then, under his guidance, Bali Maharaj and all the demons again attacked the heavenly planets and captured the heavenly planets. And then they proceeded for 100 yagyas. So while they had completed this, object of this 100 yagya was to basically be an everlasting ruler of the three worlds, undefeated ruler of the three worlds. So this Ashwamedha yagya, while they had completed 99, on the 100th yagya, a beautiful Vamana boy came over there, who was none other than Lord Vishnu. And when he came over there, Bali Maharaj was very happy. He received them, and he asked for 3 paces of land. Shukracharya was aware that he is not an ordinary Brahmana. So he feared that, he knew that he was Vishnu. He feared that Vishnu had come to deceive Bali Maharaj and take all the paces and take all the opulences back from Bali Maharaj. So he warned Bali Maharaj, be careful. He is Vishnu. He is none other than Vishnu. So you have to be very careful. He will take everything from you and give back to Indras. He put forth many arguments. He even tried to say, when Bali Maharaj said, I have already given a word, he tried to convince Bali Maharaj, saying that a person can still lie as per the Shastras when he is trying to flatter a woman, when in the marriage ceremony for his livelihood and so on. While we will not be using this is basically the demonic version of the Shastras, but yes, he quoted Shastras according to that. So Bali Maharaj was silent. He waited, he paused for some time. He probably was thinking that Shukracharya saved my life. He was the one who helped me, guide me to take the throne of Indra. And now he is also helping me in performing the 100 yagyas. What do I do? Should I obey him or not obey him? But also, he had been telling me, advising me all the time that we should offer everything to Vishnu. But now, when he says Vishnu himself has come, why is that he's stopping me from allowing to Vishnu? He contemplated on the thought. And then he replied, "Oh Master, what you mentioned about the religious principle is correct, but I am the grandson of Prahlada. How can I withdraw my promise just for the greed of money? How can I behave like an ordinary cheater? There is nothing sinful than untruthfulness." He quoted Mother Earth, saying that I can bear the weight of everything except the liar. He said, I do not fear poverty, I do not fear going to hell, nor I fear death, as much I fear cheating a Brahmana. Anyways, everyone is separated at the time of death. Then why don't we give that possession, which anyways we are destined to separate, to this Brahmana? And which all such arguments he was trying to put forward his point. He also said, even if you think he is Lord Vishnu in the form of Brahmana, I will still not retaliate. He was very determined. This obviously angered Shukracharya. Shukracharya was thinking, if he gives everything to Vishnu, what would happen on me? I'm completely dependent on him. So he cursed. Although you have all the knowledge, although you have no knowledge, you have become so-called learned person and disobeyed me. So I curse you that you lose all your opulence. Bali Maharaj still did not deviate from the word. Chetan Charan Das, I could recollect that he framed this particular incident very nicely. He said, Bali Maharaj was ready to sacrifice the best of this world for the best beyond this world. Bali Maharaj was ready to sacrifice best of this world for the best beyond this world. He was ready to sacrifice everything, all the opulence of this material world for the best beyond the world, which is none other than Krishna. But how? He had been greedy for some time. He was greedy. He wanted all the three kingdoms, and all of a sudden, why he started behaving like this? It is because of Prahlada Maharaj. Prahlada Maharaj sowed the seed of devotion in his heart, which now fructified, and he attained the perfection of devotional service. So Prabhupada says in this context, there are two types of elevated person. One is Sadhana Siddha and one is Kripa Siddha. Sadhana Siddha are the people who follow the regulations of the Shastras, who follow the instructions of the Guru Maharaj, and through practice day in, day out, they attain that perfection of devotional service. Whereas about the Kripa Siddhas, what do? They immediately get the perfection. And how? Just by the mercy of the Gurus and the Krishna. We can think of this one particular pastime in Krishna Lila, when Yajna-Patnis, the wives of Brahmanas, when Krishna came them asking for food, Brahmanas were very learned. They did not offer food to Krishna. But Yajna-Patnis, they all came and they offered food to Krishna. This is the perfection of devotional service, offering what we have to Krishna first, to Supreme Lord. And how did they get it? They were not well versed. They did not follow some Shastras and Vedas, but they got the kripa of Krishna and Balrama. So as per the custom, Bali Maharaj offered water to Vamana Deva and promised him to offer the three words. So his wife Vindhyavati, she brought some water in the golden pot, and Bali Maharaj washed the feet of Vamana Dev and took the water and put over his head. And then he offered him the land as promised. Now here we see that Bali Maharaj was very determined. That quality which Prabhupada picks up is Arjavam, which is he's free from duality. He's very determined. He's very determined in serving the Lord. Also, he rejected Shukracharya because his advice prevented him from serving Lord Krishna. He thus demonstrates that a guru who takes you away from Krishna should be immediately rejected, but a guru who takes you towards Krishna should be accepted. In Srimad Bhagavatam 7.5.31, Prabhupada says that Shukracharya, Shukra means semen and Acharya means teacher. So Shukracharya means the person who is born in the Brahminical family and has got the position of Acharya. So such person may or may not have the correct understanding of the absolute truth, and we have to be very careful. So who can be the bona fide spiritual master? So Prabhupada says, you have to surrender to spiritual master, but not blindly and sentimentally. I believe that in the initial stages of bhakti in your spiritual journey, you have to be more analytical and less of emotional. The reason I say less of emotional, because the emotion which we carry during that time is materially influenced. But as we progress over the path, automatically, gradually, we become less of analytical and become more emotional. And this emotion over here is the transcendental emotion, the Krishna prema, the bhava, which is actually required to surrender to Krishna. So Prabhupada says, first you should study the spiritual master carefully to find out whether he has the qualifications spelled out in the Vedic literature. So which qualification is referring to? There are many such qualifications, but we'll speak of two prominent. One, that he should be part of bona fide Guru Parampara. So Prabhupada says there are 4 parampara that comes directly from Vishnu, and this spiritual master should be one of them who can take you back to Godhead. And this quality is called as Shotriyam. The other quality is he must be completely absorbed in Krishna. He should always think about Krishna. He should only talk about Krishna. He should only give you Krishna. And that quality is known as Brahmanishtan. So these are the minimum bare checks that we should do before we evaluate a guru and we completely surrender onto him. Interestingly, In Hindu and Buddhist astrology, we are aware of 2 planets, and we must have heard about it when our parents see our Patrika, Janma Patrika, and all, astrology chart. So that 2 planets, one is Shukra, which is Venus, and one is Brahaspati, which is Jupiter. Now, Shukra, if you see, it signifies love, creativity, procreation, luxury, and arts. Whereas Brahaspati, what it signifies? Wise, wisdom, spirituality, education, culture, and generosity. So it is up to us to decide whose influence. Is it the influence of Shukra or it is the influence of Brahaspati we want in our astrology chart of Bhakti, and we should carefully choose the spiritual master. Now back to our pastime. Bali Maharaj promised to give Brahmana boy 3 pieces of land. Now the unlimited Lord, who had assumed the form of Vamana, he began increasing in size till everything in the universe was within his body. In Ramayana it is said, Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta, which means Hari is unlimited and his pastimes and activities are also unlimited. Bhagavatam says, Yova Anantasya Gunananantan Anukramishan Satu Bala Buddhi Rajamsi Bhumer Ganayet Katanchit Kale Nanaiva Kila Shakti Damnaha. So it says, those who think that they can count the glories of the Lord are actually Bala Buddhi. They have Balish Buddhi, the childish attitude, Balish Buddhi. You can probably count, you will be successful in counting the dust on the surface of the earth. Rajamsi Bhumer Ganayet Katanchit. Now I can see some dust on the surface of my keyboard. I am not able to count it. But Bhagavatam says, Katanchit. Maybe you would be able to, you would be successful in counting all the dust particles on the crest of the earth. But Kalena Naiva, Akhila Shakti Dhamma, Naiva, but not what? Akhila Shakti Dhamma, the qualities of the reservoir of the unlimited Lord. You cannot never count it. So when the Lord expanded, Bali Maharaj and all the priests and other people in the assembly who were looking at, they were astonished to see his universal form. Bali Maharaj was occupying the seat of Indra. He saw that the lower planets were within his soul. His foot was on the surface of the earth, and his mountains were in the calves, and he could see all type of air in the upper thighs. He could see birds in the knees. He could see himself with other associates in the outer side of the waist, whereas he saw all the 7 oceans in the inside of the waist. He also saw sky in the navel. On the heart, he saw the personalities like religion, truthfulness, and also he saw goddess of fortune with a lotus in her hand. In both his arms, he saw all the devatas. In the neck, he saw Vedas, fire in his mouth, and sun in his eyes. He saw Varuna Dev on his tongue. His eyelids were like, Shukadev Goswami says his eyelids were like day and night. So when he closes, it represents the night, and he opens, it represents the day. He saw all directions in his ears. There were clouds on his hair, the moon in his mind. He saw all the rivers in his veins, and on his hair were basically all the herbs and all the plants. Then he saw Brahma and all the great sages in his intelligence. Thus, he saw all the living entities in his whole body. In his first step, he took over the Bhuloka. And then the Lord took the second step. He covered all the heavenly planets. While doing so, it is mentioned in the 5th canto that his nails pierced the crust of the earth, the shell of the earth. Now, if you know, the earth shell is made up of 7 layers, and each successive layers are 10 times wider or thicker than the previous one. In spite of being so thick, his nails could pierce it, and few drops of water came in, which are Ganga. Chalayasi vikramane balim adbhutavamana padanaka nirajanita janapavana keshavadrita vamana rupa jai jagadish hare jai jagadish hare jai jagadish hare. So Jayadev Goswami in his Dashavatara Sutra, he says that, he praises, O Keshava, who has assumed the form of a dwarf Brahmana, by your message step, you have deceived King Bali. And by the Ganga water that has emanated, Neera Janita, that is emanated from the nails of your lotus feet, you deliver all the living beings, Jana Pavana of this world. So while this pastime was being done, all the weapons personified, they appeared over there and they paid their obeisances and worshipped the Lord with all the paraphernalia. Lord Brahma also was over there. He also offered his prayers. At that time, waters from his kamandu, the pot which we usually carry, he usually carries the sages, washed the feet of the Lord. And he became so pure that it transformed into Ganga. Now we can see there are three references which Prabhupada quotes. When he says somewhere it is mentioned that Narayan said he himself is Ganga. Second, in 5th canto it says because of the nails that pierced the shell of the earth, water came in, Ganga. Again, now the water from the kamandu of the Brahma, Lord Brahma, washed the feet of Vishnu, and again it transformed to Ganga. So how do we understand that? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that Ganga is actually the combination of all these three waters. So while Brahma and the Devatas were worshipping the Lord with flowers, with the diya, sandalwood pearl, Lord reduced himself into his original form as Vamanadev. Thus, he acted exactly like Lord Krishna in showed his Vishwarupa to Arjuna on his request, and then he reduced his original form as Krishna. We have to understand that Krishna can take unlimited forms, but his original form is Krishna. Krishna to Bhagavana Swayam. According to the capacity of the devotee, he takes assumes various forms so that the devotee can handle him. Now, while the demigods were busy worshipping the Lord, the demons were not so happy. So they saw their master was being deceived. They said angrily, "Oh, this Vamana, this Brahmana, this Vishnu, he's so deceiving. He deceived our Lord, and by deceiving, he took all the affluence of the Lord. This is not good. It is very bad." And they were very furious. Now, Brahma Vaivarta Purana mentions of a very interesting character over here, whose name was Ratnamala. And Ratnamala was the sister of Bali. Now, initially, when Vamanadev came as the Brahmana boy, small boy, the motherly affection manifested her so much, she felt that, oh, Kash, this person would have been my son and I would have fed in my milk. But now after seeing this Vishwarupa and seeing that Vamana, his brother, has been deceived and cheated, she said, even if this boy becomes my son, I would kill him becoming poison, by giving poison. Now this particular personality in the next life was none other than Putna. Krishna, being present in everyone's heart, knows the desire of everyone. So he gave her the opportunity to become Putna, to give her milk and also give her poison. So we should be pro tip. I would give pro tip over here. So we should be very careful where we are in front of the deities or in temple, what we desire. We do not know in what form Lord will fulfill our desires. So now all the demons who were very angry, they rushed to attack Bali Maharaj. Now Lord's associate, including Jai Vijay, who were present over there, they smiled. They might be thinking, "Abhi, kya karne ja rahe? What are they trying to do? Are they trying to kill themselves? What are they trying to do?" And then with that smile, they counter-attacked all the demons. Now we have to understand the demons all tried to attack Vamanadev against the desire of Bali Maharaj. Now, with all the associates of the Lord trying to defeat and kill demonas, Bali Maharaj requested them, "Please go down the lower planets. This is not the right time to fight. The time is not in our favor. So please go down the lower planets and take shelter over there." So they were driven down to the lower planets. Now Garuda, the king of the birds, understanding the desire of his master, he quickly arrested Bali Maharaj with the rope of Varuna. Being so captured and benefit of all his opulences, Bali Maharaj lost all his body luster. Vamanadev then said, "O king of demons, you promised to give me 3 pieces of land. With one, I covered the complete Bhuloka. With second, and with my body, I complete sky and all the directions. And with second, I complete all the heavenly planets. Now you are unable to fulfill my promise. So you should go to hell immediately." And also, this is in accordance to the curse that has been given by Shukracharya. Shukracharya, while he said that you lose all your opulences, he also said that you will go to hell. So Prabhupada here says that Lord actually wanted to show how determined Bali Maharaj was. He wanted the world to know how Bali Maharaj was. And he did not hesitate to carry the order. So he wanted to basically glorify Bali Maharaj through this particular pastime. So the Lord continued saying that being falsely proud of all your possessions, you promised me to give 3 steps of land, but you failed to do so. So you should go in hell for few years. Now, Bali Maharaj might be thinking, oh, you might have taken all my possessions, but oh Lord, there is something you have not yet taken, me. Bali said, यद्य उत्तम श्लोक भवान् ममेरितं वचो वलिकं सूरवर्य मन्यते करोमृतं तन्न भवेत् प्रलम्बनं पदं तृतीयं कुरु शीर्ष्णि मे निजम्. So he said, oh Lord, oh Uttama Shloka, the best of the personalities, Suravarya, the best among the demigods. If you think that my words, my promise, Yakhinam, has gone waste, then please give an opportunity. Korumritam, fix this. Fix that what you think that I have made a false promise. How? By please, Padam Tritiyam, kindly please put your third step, Kuru Shirshni Me Nijam, on my head. So here he exemplifies the Atma Nivedana, Atma Samarpan, which is the part of Navavida Bhakti. So here Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, now we have to understand the position of Bali Maharaj. He was about, through all the phases of his life, he was now about to become the ruler of the 3 worlds. So he was about to do that. That was the 100th sacrifice. It was just a matter of few days or few hours, and then he would be the matter. He has spent so many yajnas, so many bad phases he has passed through, and he was about to get what he wanted. But still, he was so determined in his commitment to the Supreme Lord. Atma Nivedana Bhava Hriday Dida Roe. May the mood of self-surrender to the Supreme Lord remain firmly in my heart. Hasti Snana Samajano Kanika Hoy. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, let it not be, let my determination will not be like the momentary cleanliness of the elephant after taking a bath. So if you all know, elephant after he takes a bath quickly comes out and he puts all the sand back on his body. So he's saying, Hasti Snana Samajeno Kanika no hoy. Let it not be like the Hasti Snana. So here, Bali Maharaj actually was so determined that he did not deviate whatever may be the situation. So Bali Maharaj, in that situation, he said, father, mother, brother, friends, they all punish us for our well-being, but not in this way. You, O Lord, being the Supreme Person of Godhead, you have punished me this way, and I regard this as exalted. He praised the Lord. He understood the real situation. He praised the Lord, saying that you punish us only for our own welfare. He said that God, oh Lord, you are indirectly the greatest well-wisher of all the demons. We are always blinded by all the false prestige. By chastising us, you give us the eyes to see the right path. You are so merciful that many devotees who are envious towards you also receive the position of mystic yogis. It is a Brahma Jyoti. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in Gopinath, Gopinath, Mam ami ki doshe doshi, asura sakala paino charana vinoda takilo bosi. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is saying, oh Gopinath, I am so sinful that all the demons attend your lotus feet. Bhaktivinoda remains in this in this material existence. So even he accepts the fact that Lord is so, he confirms the fact that Lord is so merciful that even the demons get the mercy of attaining the lotus feet of the Lord. But we are unable to do that because we have the scene of the material desires within us. So again, back to our pastime, Bali Maharaj, thus he was appreciating the action of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he considered his situation to be very fortunate. And he was considering his situation, describing his fortunate position, Prahlad appeared over there. So when Prahlad appeared, everyone paid dandavats to him, even Bali Maharaj. But since he was arrested by the Garuda, he just bowed his head and paid obeisances to Prahlada. Prahlada, seeing the Supreme Person of Godhead, he paid his dandavat with his head. He was so overwhelmed with jubilation of tears by seeing, after seeing the Lord. He offered his obeisances again and prayed to Lord, thanking him for being so merciful to his grandson Bali Maharaj. He said, because of his position, Bali Maharaj, being positioned as being the king of the heaven, he was put into the ignorance of darkness. But because of your special mercy, he has now been pulled out. At the same time, Vindhyavati, wife of Bali Maharaj, who was scared, but at the same time, she paid her obeisances to the Supreme Lord and said, "Oh Lord, you are the creator, you are the supreme proprietor." And she indirectly criticized Bali Maharaj, saying that people with demonic mentality are the one who basically consider themselves the owner. Now here we understand one prime difference between the mentality of the Devatas and the mentality of the demons. So Devatas, they consider, or godly consciousness is one that understands the fact that we are not the owner of anything, and it is Lord who is the supreme proprietor. But demonic mentality is where we consider ourselves to be the owner of everything. This body, this flat, this house, this family. That is demonic mentality. Now Lord Brahma, who was also present there, he requested to Lord with folded hands. He said that Bali Maharaj has been sufficiently been punished, O Lord. Please release him. Now, as far as I recollect this particular of different pastimes of the Lord, I have never seen Brahma actually interfering while Krishna is actually punishing some demon. But in this particular case, Brahma interferes and he requests the Lord to please release him. What would be the reason? It is the ultimate surrender which Bali Maharaj is given. So because of that, he was pleased with Bali Maharaj and he pleaded Lord to please excuse him. But when he says surrender, 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 what exactly does surrender mean? Prabhupada quoted in preface of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So coincidentally today happens to be the 405th anniversary of Chaitanya Charitamrita. So by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. So let us quote this. So Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita preface, Prabhupada quotes that Lord demands that one should surrender unto him by following the 6 guidelines. There are 6 guidelines that has been given by the Lord. He also quotes this in Nectar of Devotion and different other books. So let us try to go through it briefly and also see how we can practically try to implement this in our life in case of chanting. So we may not by default have the mood of surrender, but we can try to enact that. Now if you see in these 6 guidelines, the first 2 guidelines are something which we can enact, whereas the 4 other guidelines are something which the mood which we have to cultivate, which we have to develop. So it is not possible to develop the mood the way it is immediately as it is. So the best way is we start with point 1 and 2 and try to enact it so that the right mood develops. So the first 2 guidelines say, let us take 2 guidelines at a time. So first 2 guidelines say, accept things which are favorable in discharging the devotional service to Krishna and reject things which are unfavorable toward your devotional service. In this case, Bali Maharaj, what did he do? He rejected Shukracharya. Shukracharya, the person who had given the second chance, who had guided him to get the throne of Indra and was helping him with the 100 yajnas. But he rejected him immediately because that was unfavorable for his devotional service. Now in a practical life like chanting, we can also try to implement it. We can try to accept the things which are favorable for our chanting, like probably getting up in the Brahma Murta, sitting erect while chanting. Those can be the things which we think are favorable for our devotional service. Unfavorable things we can try to remove is basically not attending to your WhatsApp messages or your unwanted calls. So basically with these small things, we can try to develop the mood of surrender to the Supreme Lord. Now Prabhupada in one of the morning talks, he has given an interesting perception to it. So we said the 2 things are accept things favorable and reject things unfavorable. So in his morning talk, what Prabhupada said is, he said to one of to the people around him, associates, that if I surrender to Krishna, he will give me protection. I am one of his servant, that is surrender. And whatever he gives, we should accept him. So the person named Mr. Manotra, who was over there, he said, we should accept good or bad. So Prabhupada says, there is no good. There is no bad. Everything is good over here. And first accept what is favorable to Krishna, to reject things which are unfavorable to Krishna. So he changed the conjunction from and to to. And that is very interesting. If you see the story of Dhruv Maharaj, initially when he saw the Lord, he accepted Lord to be his ultimate goal, which automatically removed his material desire of enthroning. So he did not artificially remove his mood of enthroning or desire of enthroning the kingdom. But when he understood that Lord is ultimate objective, the other thing automatically went off. So that is an interesting angle which Prabhupada has given. So with this, when we move on to the second one, it says that always believe firmly in the protection, Lord's protection. Always feel exclusively dependent on the mercy of the Lord. So here Bali Maharaj, he believed that the punishment by the Lord was actually special mercy, which indicates that he had a firm faith in the Lord. He had a firm faith that Lord is his supreme protector. So when he said when Lord said go to hell, he still believed, he accepted God, he still believed that my Lord would be protecting me over there. Other great example is none other than Prahlad Maharaj. So when Hiranyakashipu's father, demonic father, tried to throw him down the cliff, put him into dungeon full of snakes, tried to put him below the feet of the elephants and put him inside the fire, give him poison and whatnot. But Prahlad Maharaj he had so strong, firm belief in Lord's protection. He was never deterred from that belief. Other great personality is Draupadi. Draupadi, when she was being disrobed, she was pulled in the assembly. She begged for help from Bhishma Dev, from Dhritarashtra, from her husbands, but no one was able to help her. When Dushasan tried to pull out the sari, she tried to hold her chastity with her hand, but she understood that her power was no match for Dhritarashtra, Dushasan. And then she tried to hold with her teeth, but then she realized that she cannot herself do it on her own. Prapanam pahi Govinda kurumade vashiditam. So she's saying, please protect this surrendered soul, oh Govinda. I am thinking amongst these Kurus. So she cried out to Krishna and Krishna helped her. She had that faith. She actually dependent. She was completely dependent. She believed on the protection of Lord Krishna. So to give ourselves to Lord Krishna and depend entirely on Krishna's protection is what surrender is. So while chanting, we can cry out to Lord, hey Lord, please protect me from the clutches of Maya. If you remember, Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, what he says, Mam evaya prapadante Maya metam tarantite. Only if you surrender unto me, you will be able to cross the ocean of nescience. So we should pray to Lord before chanting. We should try to develop that mood before chanting. Lord, I am helpless without your protection. It is only by your mercy that I can overcome this ocean of nescience. So I am completely dependent on you. So with this mood, we should start our chanting. Then the other two things are, we should not have interest separate from that of the interest of the Lord. And we should always feel oneself meek and humble. Now in case of Bali Maharaj, when he was bound by the ropes of Varuna, by Garuda, he felt humble, he felt helpless, and he did not retaliate. So he accepted whatever may be the interest of the Lord, putting me to hell or doing anything with me, I accept it. My interests are aligned with your interest, O Lord. That was his mood. And that was in humble and meek mood. So aligning, what is aligning to the interest of the Lord? So when we align to the instructions of our Guru Maharaj, spiritual master, we automatically get aligned to the interest of the Lord. So while chanting, how do we do that? How do you feel meek and humble? Trinadapi sunichena. So one should chant the holy names, understanding himself lower and more insignificant than the blade of a grass. So we should always think oneself to be a humble servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. And with this mood, we should chant. So Prabhupada, while he was in Jalduta, he got heart attack. And in his poem, trying to pray, in his prayers to the Lord, which he wrote, he said, karja je koribare, agya je didilo more, jogya nahi andina hina. ताई से तुम्हार कृपा मागितेची अनिरूपा अजिनमी सोबार pravina. So he said, although my Guru Maharaj has ordered me to accomplish this mission, I am not worthy and fit of doing it. I am completely dependent on you. So I am very fallen and insignificant. Therefore, O Lord, I am begging for your mercy so that I may become worthy. For you are the most wisest and the most experienced of all. So basically, Prabhupada is in the mood where we see few of this guidelines. He has developed that mood in himself. So there is one more interesting video which most of us must have seen, where in an assembly where people, his disciples ask Prabhupada, Prabhupada, how much time it would take for us to go back to Godhead? Prabhupada, without hesitating, he replies, 2 minutes, just 2 minutes. How much time does it take for you to surrender? 2 minutes. So we are just 2 minutes away from Krishna. But it seems like eons and eons we are away from Krishna. Why? Because we are materially attached. Na dhanam, na janam, na sundarim. It is mentioned, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that I don't want any wealth. I don't want any followers. I don't want a beautiful wife. That is the mood. But what most of us say, ha dhanam, ha janam, ha sundarim. Give me more wealth. Give me more followers. I want a beautiful wife. So when we have that mood, how can we basically make our distance from Krishna just 2 minutes? Shishtastakam means Shiksha Astakam. So the 8 verses which give you instructions or some knowledge. Interestingly, in Marathi, Shiksha also means punishment. So if you are in the mood of seeing Na Dhanam, Na Janam, Na Sundarim, then this Shishtastakam is basically the instructions of the Lord. We are following the instruction of the Lord. But when we say Ha Dhanam, Ha Janam, Ha Sundarim, we are basically talking about the Marathi version of the Shishtastakam. Shish means basically we are getting punished. What punished? Getting entangled in this cycle of life and death. So with the 6 guidelines, we eventually gradually reach that mood which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says in Shishtastakam. Ashlishya va padartam pinastu mam adarshanam marmahatam karotu va yata tata va viddatu lampatu mat prananatas tasu eva naparaha. So he says, whatever you do, you embrace me, you trample me below your feet, you throw me there, you whatever you desire you do. Don't give any service or you insult me, whatever you want you do. Don't do not. Sa na eva na tu, but sa eva, only he, na eva para. No one else will be my Lord, worshipable Lord. So whatever you do, I am your puppet. You are the puppeteer. I have no other thing. Just control me. That's it. I am your surrendered soul. So that is the mood of surrender. So while we move on to our katha again, so when Brahma said that he pleaded Lord to please forgive him, Supreme Personality of Godhead responded saying, Brahma, I am doing a special favor by taking away all his positions. Vraje prasiddham navanita choram gopangananam chatakula chauram aneka janma arjita papa chauram Chauraganyam Purusham Namami. So Bilva Thakura says, Chauraganyam, you are the foremost of all the thieves. Why? Because if we surrender to you, you take away everything. But the person who is not surrendering, you don't take anything from him. So I say, oh Lord, I surrender, take my position. So Lord takes everything from you. But here, we can have a, from the incident of Bali Maharaj, we can tweak this prayer saying that, oh Lord, if you want to take anything, take. But please accept me as well. So Bilwa Thakur also continues saying that what else does he take? He takes your wealth, he takes your fame, and many much material opulences. So for fame, interestingly, we must all have experienced it. So while we are doing our education, while we are in the schools and colleges, even though we might not have been so good in curriculum, the relatives would have praised us. Oh, your boy is doing good. He's going to college. Oh, he's done degree. Wow, awesome, very nice. He's doing very nice. But the moment they get to know that oh, he has taken spiritual service. They say, "Abhe, kya hua? Abhi to acha bala tha, ye bura bala kab se ho gaya? What happened to him? All of a sudden he's behaving like that." And well, the moment they know that he has joined ISKCON, then they bring up all the stories. Oh, बंटी की माँ, तुझे पता नहीं क्या हुआ? He joined ISKCON. There is one person in my family, in my building, who joined ISKCON. He left all his parents and left. And then you get all the stress from your pressure from your family. So, what praise, realization, appreciation you used to get before joining spirituality from your relatives, all is being snatched away by Krishna. You became kind of infamous. But that is not all it takes. Anek janmarjit papa chauram. Anek janma papa. The sins which are accumulated from many birthdays. He takes that also. He takes all your anxieties. And what happens when he takes all your anxieties? Atma nivedana tua pade tori hoina parama sukhi. I become supremely joyful, parama sukhi, when I surrender myself onto your lotus feet. Dukhya dure gelo, chinta na rohilo. My dukh has gone away. There is no anxiety at all. Chaudi ke anand dekhi. In all directions, I just see happiness. That is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in Sharanagati. So this is what happens when we surrender. It may look like Krishna takes everything from us, but when taking everything from us, he's giving us much more important, more precious Krishna Prema. So what happens to Bali Maharaj? What did he give Bali Maharaj? So his Lord said, Bali Maharaj will become Indra in Shavarni Manvantara. So here, this current Manvantara is the Vaivashvana Manvantara. And Indra is actually position. So Indra now is Purandara. So in the next Manvantara, which is Sharvani Manvantara, Bali Maharaj would take up the position of Indra. So he continued till that time. So till that time, which means we are right now in that that's around 72 Yuga cycles in one Manvantara. So we are approximately 26 or 27th Yuga cycle. So around 40 to 45 Yugas yet to go. So till that time, what could we do? So Lord says, till that time, you can go and stay in Sutara, one of the lower planets. But it has been made by Vishwakarma. Vishwakarma is the one who also made palaces in heaven, in Swarga. So godly people, the heavenly people, they desire that place. But you would be residing over there. This place will be free from all the mental and the physical miseries. Why? Because it will be protected by me. He also continues saying that no one would be able to conquer you because my Sudarshan Chakra will kill them all. I will stay with you and you will be able to see me always. What more can Bali Maharaj ask from Supreme Lord? He assured Bali Maharaj that he will always be protected from the bad association of the demons. So in our life, we may or may not be encounter such a dramatic situation where we will be forced to surrender. But we can surrender in bits and pieces. We can give small pleasures of this world for Krishna. So like the way we have now assembled, we might have forget COVID. Even if it wasn't COVID, we surely would have assembled again to listen this katha, to Bhagavatam. In Ramadan, we have some short festivals, some offer discounts, but still we would have left that small pleasures of material just for Krishna. We would have done that. That's small. These are all small surrender. The first step of surrender. Take up what is beneficial for Krishna and reject everything which is not beneficial for Krishna. And these small surrenders, I'm sure, would change your direction of life. So with this, I would like to conclude by praying on behalf of all of us to Bali Maharaj, saying that please kindly bless us that we develop this determined surrender, Hriday Drida, without any titration. Kindly